Good evening, everyone. I'm Keegan Hayes, and I'll be discussing about gargoyle geckos. Have you ever seen a reptile that looks like it belongs in a Dutch cathedral? Well, let me introduce you to gargoyle geckos. Whether you're a reptile lover, an aspiring herpetologist, or just curious about exotic pets, gargoyle geckos are a fascinating species worth learning about. As a gecko species native to New Caledonia and popular in the pet trade, gargoyle geckos have been widely studied bred, offering various morphs to choose from. Gargoyle geckos are unique reptiles known for their striking appearance, as you can see, and easygoing nature. They also have simple care needs, and it makes them very desirable with reptile enthusiasts. We'll be discussing about origins and their natural habitat, characteristics, and husbandry and care. Gargoyle geckos, also known as Rhacdactylus auriculus, are native to southern New Caledonia, which is a group of islands in the South Pacific. They inhabit humid forests and are semi-arboreal, spending time in lower canopies in trees. They're nocturnal, so they're only active at night. They tend to be both insectivores and frugivores, but they're also classified as omnivores in the wild due to their cannibalistic tendencies of other gargoyle geckos, along with eating smaller geckos like crested geckos and any other smaller New Caledonian species. Their name originates from the bony protrusions on their head that resemble gargoyle statues in like Dutch cathedrals, just cathedrals in general. Auriculus actually means eared, which is the protrusions on their head. They come in many different morphs, including blotch, striped, wild, and they come in colors like red, orange. I've seen white ones. There's melanistic ones. They're just like pure black. Ramstein here is a white striped, orange striped gargoyle gecko. They're pretty tame and handleable, although as they get older, especially the males, they become more flighty. And unlike many other New Caledonian species with a prehensile tail, gargoyle geckos can actually regrow them. They're a mid-level predator in New Caledonia, being outcompeted by Leachianus. That's why they stay in lower canopy trees, because the Leachianus, which is the biggest gecko in the world, they tend to eat smaller geckos like the gargoyle gecko, and then gargoyle geckos eat crested geckos. It has a whole chain reaction with them. For care and like husbandry in your home as a pet, they should be kept in a vertical enclosure. I've noticed in my experience that naturalistic vivariums tend to work better, especially if it's a 18 by 18 by 24 inch enclosure, which is equal to 33 gallons vertical. The temperature should be around 75 to 78 Fahrenheit and a humidity around 80%, which it will drop during the day, so it's better to miss them morning and night. They can live up to 15 to 30 years with proper care. And from my experience, Ramstein, he's in here now, but he is around, I think, 2 years old, and he still hasn't reached adulthood. They grow a lot slower than most geckos do. With handling, it's better to do choice-based handling, especially because they got a lot bigger teeth than most New Caledonian geckos, since they're omnivorous. And if you do choice-based handling, it's less likely for them to drop their tails and get stressed, and it's less likely for both you and the reptile to get injured. We explored where gargoyles came from, what makes them unique, and how to properly care for them as pets. These geckos combine exotic beauty with manageable care requirements, making them both interesting and accessible to reptile enthusiasts. Although their price tag can usually range around $100,000. Gargoyle geckos prove to be extraordinary creatures, whether they are kept as pet or observed in the wild.